Hey guys, my name is Moon and welcome back for more Umineko When They Cry, episode 5. So we are still in the tea parties, we haven't finished it yet. So let us continue. So what happened last time? We talked with Dianor, Virgilia, right? The conversations there, honestly, was pretty good. Even though it was very chill, right? It was nice, it was good. So let's do this, let's continue. He awoke from the sleep of death. Yes, Butler has awoken. And bit by bit, his sense of pain came back to him. On Butler's face, which still looked up at the heavens as he hung there pierced by the long sword, a suffering and alive expression gradually returned.
お前は本当にバカだ。大バカだ。
Butler noticed. Oh. This whole time, Beato had been snuggling up against him, sleeping. And when he held her, he knew that it was not Beato, but her crumbling remains. She's disappearing again. By the way, I forgot to check last time the Nox commandments. I do apologize for that. I forgot. We'll do it later. So when Butler just tried to hold that form, as fragile as ash, then just like a sandcastle made on a beach washed away by a small wave. It fell apart and lost its form. At Butler's feet lay nothing but the ragged remains or remnants of Beato's dress and a pile of ash. Now on top of that pile of ash, he could see something sparkling gold. It was the husk of a single gold butterfly which had been torn to bits, and so Butler knew, I've definitely reached the truth. However, I wasn't able to do it. While Beato still remained in this world, Beato...
ベアト、お前本当にバカだろ。俺はようやくお前の出題したこのふざけた謎の真相にたどり着いたんだぞ。お前のお望み通りにくじけずにとうとう最後までたどり着いたのに。なのになんでお前がそれを待てずにくじけちまったんだよ。お前はあんなにも信じてたんだろう。俺が絶対に真実に至ってくれるって。ならどうしてそれを俺と一緒に信じて待てなかったんだよ。永遠の拷問を強いていたのはお前じゃない。
You aren't the one who's been forcing endless torture on someone else.
俺だ。俺がお前に過酷な拷問を強いた。そしてお前は最後まで抗い俺に訴え続け、そして俺はようやく岩になってたどり着いたってのに、お前はもう待ってなくて手遅れになっちまったって。バカ野郎、どうしてお前が先にくじけちまうんだよ。
It's my fault. I forced her to endure this torture. In fact, she's been doing a wonderful job sticking through it for so long. Over and over again, you kept on protesting to me, and because I was so incompetent, it was as though I couldn't understand the truth.
バカ野郎、バカ野郎。お前の謎はさ、ひねりすぎなんだよ。どうしてもっと簡単に言えねえんだよ。
True, why couldn't you say it more simply? Yes.
バ バカ野郎
His scream of pain filled the sad cathedral. The sad witch who wasn't able to communicate the truth to Butler. The sad man who wasn't able to understand the witch's truth. Butler's howl of anger and sadness rang out for that pair. The clock hung in the cathedral showed that it was 12 a.m. on October 5th, 1986. Time was up for everything. You're kidding me. You don't set something like a time limit on this difficult riddle you're so proud of. But honestly, whenever we reach midnight, it's over, right? Every single time.
いや、わかるぜ。それほどのわずかな奇跡の中に、お前は祈ったんだよな。お前もじいさまと同じだったんだ。
You prayed for and bet on the power of miracle. One so unlikely that it was totally impossible, less likely than finding a bead you dropped on a sandy beach. And that means I've now truly arrived at that miracle. However, your time didn't last long enough. If I had reached this point even a little sooner, if I could have seen the truth, even if it had been right before the time was up, I might have been able to save you. But right now, I've been run through pathetically. I can't even hold what remains of you. As I attempted to pull the long sword out, I tried stretching out my arms and kicking my feet, struggling to at least touch her remains, but nothing worked. At the time, I noticed a golden glint on the palm of my hand. It was a single wing from a gold butterfly. The small fragment of gold was the only piece of Beato that I was permitted to touch. I cried with all my strength, gripped that fragment, and pressed it against my head, apologizing. Why couldn't I reach the truth earlier? Then I pressed it to my chest, promising that even now I would never again lose the truth. When I pressed my hands against my chest, the sword piercing my chest cut my wrist and the blood dribbled out. That blood spread throughout my fist, and it must have soaked that gold fragment with my red blood. It must have been the only way of telling her that I found a truth she'd wanted me to know about. I clutched the wing of the gold butterfly with my freshly bleeding hand and pressed it against the red sword that pierced me. At this point, Ushiramiya Butler knows, and he understands. He's found this tale is everything. At that time, it seemed as though a faint golden light leaked out of the gaps in his clenched fist. The two witches had their backs turned. Okay, here, the witch of truth. Erica. And Erica was laughing at Butler's corpse.
本当に無様ですね、バトラさん。あなたの愚かさを石像にして永遠に。
At that time, Butler's chest, no, the red longsword that pierced Butler began to sparkle gold from deep within his chest. Oh, it's become gold now. The bright golden light began to change the red sword's color, turning it gold.
何事？ トラが、これは、何？
Butler coughed up blood and groaned. His consciousness came back. Okay, we're back now. It's time to destroy Erica. His will to live, his will to fight came back. The red longsword that pierced Butler could no longer be described as much. By now it had become a golden longsword. Then, slowly, gradually, it pulled itself out of Butler's chest. It finally pulled itself free and started dancing through the air. Then it stood up in front of Butler's eyes as though it knew who its master was. Butler, crawling on the floor and moaning, grabbed the golden longsword. And though it looked painful, he slowly rose to his feet once again.
"その輝きって、まさか!"
Lambda stared wide-eyed at the bright golden glow in awe. When she noticed that Butler's resurrection wasn't part of a script Lambda had thought up, Byrne also frowned slightly. They're kinda nervous right now. Retrials will not be permitted. Are they gonna do that?
了解であります。
Oh!
45-410発砲許可。
Actually, I haven't read that. Yeah. Well, like this was also shown in the other episodes. Yes. I wanted to read that, but I didn't really check it out. What does it say? I'll check it out later. But yeah, it's pretty much backwards, so you cannot read it like that. You need to turn it around. I'll see. Maybe it just reads nothing, right? Maybe it's just nothing. So basically, they gotta shoot him right now.
39だと。バカな。
The Chester sisters hesitated, unable to carry out Byrne Castle's orders.
ラムダ、これはどういう茶番よ。完全に魔女幻想は打ち破られて、法廷は私の勝利に終わったはずよ。
悪いわね、ベルン。もう少し付き合ってもらうわ。そうでしょ、後ろ宮バトラー。
ああ、待たせたな、エリカ。ベルン・カステル。今度は俺の真実の番だぜ。
再審請求を受理するわ。魔女集会の幻想法廷の閉廷は撤回される。
異議提出。すでに裁判は結審し、判決は公示されている。
異議却下。いかなる判決も新たな真実の前にはかす
む。異議提出。バトラはプレイヤーを追放されただけでなく、魔女の地位を持たない。上告する資格を持たない。
Not only has Butler been banished as a player, he also doesn't hold the rank of a witch. He isn't qualified to call for an appeal.
異議却下。
お、
もうね、あるのよ、彼には。絶対の魔女、ラムダデルタの名において認めるわ。
But yeah, Lambda Delta is actually allowing it.
後ろ宮バトラ、あなたを新たな黄金の魔女。
He became the Golden Witch. I mean, this is much more fun. So yeah, I guess Lambda Delta's like, yeah, let's do this.
いえ、無限の魔術師、後ろ宮バトラと認めるわ。
Endless Sorcerer.
ラ
なんですって。
Look at Erica's face.
バトラが魔女の位を。
He got promoted the same as you, Erica. The rank of a witch, which she had desired for so long, had been granted to Butler so quickly. But didn't Vern Castle also promote her to become the witch at root? Or was it just a word? Like she just said it. And on top of that, this wasn't anything temporary. This was an official, proper authorization by Lambda Delta. Also, I guess for Erica, it was only temporary. But now, this one for Butler, it is the real deal. Erica couldn't accept it and her face turned bright red. In your face.
最後の最後まで楽しませてくれるわ。あの子のゲームは。いいわ、付き合ってあげる。エリカ、受けて立ちなさい。あなたが私と築き上げた赤き真実は完璧よ。夏日が犯人であるとする真実の構築は完璧だわ。絶対にバトラには崩せない。無論です、若主。何の心配もありません。それよりシエスタ姉妹、我が主は射殺を命じていますよ。いつになったら命令は実行されるんですか？エラーコード39。
Yeah, they cannot.
領主照準には解除コードが必要です。
Territory Lord? What is that? Had they said that back then? Territory Lord?
だからあいつはやると言ったに。
I mean, we know Game Master, but what is a Territory Lord?
領主？誰が？このかけらの支配者は誰？
But wasn't it given to Erica now? Or didn't Burn Castle say to Erica that you stay here?
私です。
Yeah, in the other tea party, right?
領主、まさかバトラが。はい、後ろ宮バトラはこのかけらの正当な領主と認定されているであります。
So he's the lord of this fragment, and now no one can touch him.
そうよ。まだわからないの？あの黄金の輝きの意味が。バトラはね、至ったのよ。すべての真実の最新王にね。だからバトラは今やこの世界の物語のゲームのすべてを理解している。それはつまりゲームの支配者の地位を得たということよ。それを信じたくないでしょ、ベルン。
信じたくもない。いいわ、バトラが本当に全てを理解したのか試してあげるわ。エリカ、
残念ね、エリカ。せっかくこのかけらの領主に任命されたところだけれど、それを剥奪するわ。
Yeah, pretty much Butler stole it.
このかけらの新しい領主は後ろ宮バトラよ。悔しいねえねえ、悔しい。
I like in the other tea party, Erica is so happy, very very happy, but this time around, yeah, it's the complete
せ
opposite.
っかく領主になれたのにいきなり剥奪ってどんな気持ち？どんな気持ち？
私の推理を否定できるものならしてみればいいでしょ。そんなことは不可能。不可不可不可不可不可不可不可不可不可不可不可。 私の構築した推理に隙はありません。夏日が犯人であることは否定不能。
俺は夏日おばさん以外が犯人である推理を構築できる。
Oh yeah, he can say it now, yes. He can do the red roots. I can construct a theory with someone other than Aunt Nazi as the culprit. Okay, yeah, I completely forgot. Yes, he can do it now.
確かにお前の真実は否定不能かもしれない。ならば同時にお前の真実は俺の新しい真実も否定できない。
If so, that means your truth won't be able to deny my new truth either. Butler spoke with the red truth allowed him by his status as a sorcerer. Yes.
夏日以外が犯人でどうやってドラノール、バトラさんの妄言に付き合ってあげてください。
But wait, but we check these tips now, yeah. As we're here, I actually forgot this, so... Okay, 1, we learned this. And number 2, we learned this. And 3rd, hidden passages. 4, unknown drugs. Okay. 5th, not included. What is the 5th one? Why are they hiding this, right? Why are they hiding this? Maybe this is gonna be unlocked in the future. 6, it is forbidden for an accident. Okay, this was mentioned. Forbidden for the detective to be the culprit. Okay, mentioned. Forbidden for the case to be resolved without clues or with clues that are not presented. Mentioned. Observers are permitted to put forward their own conclusions and interpretations. Observers, okay. Number 10, it is forbidden for a character to disguise themselves as another without any clues. Okay, so pretty much everything has been said. Yeah. The debate over this interpretation of these laws continues to this very day, and it becomes the source of countless unfair controversies. While fundamentalists call an infringement upon these commandments a heresy, revisionists point out that many canonized geniuses have violated these rules. Honestly, this 10th one. It is forbidden for a character to disguise themselves as another without any clues. I mean, I've been theorizing about who the culprit is, right? Never mind. Not technically a disguise though, right? It was not. My theory is not technically a disguise. It's more on a different personality, right? Yes. Like a disguise is gonna say something like, oh, Natsuhi is pretending to be Beatrice or the Golden Witch. Remember that when Erika was saying that? Natsuhi was wearing, but yeah, that one technically. That's kind of an example. Okay, let's continue. Slowly, Diana stepped forwards. In her hand was the red long sword of the Decalogue. She also had a blue short sword. In Butler's hand was a golden long sword. The two rivals once again know for the first time they are truly confronted each other.
Butler,
look at that face.
待っていました。
待たせたな。
いいえ。あなたの帰りは私の予想より早かったです。
殺しなさい、トラノール A ノックス。
The Nora form disappeared in an instant, as though her slow, dignified movements from before were only a lie. The curve drawn by the long sword of red truth burned itself into the retinas of those who saw it. Before anyone had enough time to follow that curve, it was already approaching Butler's chest.
エリカ卿の推理により第5のゲームは解決しました。この推理による真実を覆す新事実は存在しません。
他の解釈で異なる真実の提示が可能だ。
It's possible to present a different truth using a different interpretation.
異なる真実の並列により両者の真贋を問う。
In this closed-off world, it's possible for different truths to exist at the same time. Furthermore, as long as multiple truths exist, it's impossible to claim that any of the truths are the single truth. In other words, even if I can overturn Erika's reasoning by questioning its credibility and conquering it, I can defeat it.
ベルンの推理は完璧よ。簡単には覆せない。でもね、ベルンの推理と互角の推理を提示できたなら、戦いは氷結となる。すなわち、いずれかの真実は打ち破られて否定されることがあり得る。
Okay, how is Butler gonna do that?
笑わせる脚本だわ。悪魔の脚本はやはりこうでなくっちゃ。
では問いましょう。夏日以外の誰が犯人という仮説ですか？
Okay. Butler's golden long sword drew both red and blue curves at will.
夏日おばさんの告白した19年前の赤ん坊による復讐で構築可能だ。
Okay. I mean, this one I believe because this is one of my theories, yes.
ノックス第1条。犯人は物語当初の登場人物以外を禁ず。
But the thing is, yes, if you look at it, for my theory, the culprit is, let's say, Shannon, Kanon, Asayo. They were already introduced in the beginning, right? Yeah, no matter which name, you can say Kanon, you can say Shannon, you can say Sayo, you can say Beatrice. They've been introduced early already.
第5のゲームより登場した人物に犯人は名乗れません。
その19年前の赤ん坊は最初から俺たちの中にいるとしたら、
Yeah, see?
例えばそれが俺だとしたら、
So technically, yes, you can pretty much just say that everyone from the first episode, all of those people, even Butler, even let's say George, Jessica, Maria, everyone. Then yes, cut it in half, sir. Destroy it.
ノックス第8条。提示されない手がかりでの解決を禁ず。
Clues, okay, that are not
あな
presented.
たが19年前の赤ん坊であることを示す伏線はあったのですか？
Okay, what is the explanation here? Come on, Butler.
第4のゲームにおける俺が母親アスムの息子でないとする赤き真実。
Yeah, you can argue this. Yes, that is good though. I didn't even or it's not I didn't remember, but it didn't come into my mind that maybe because yes, maybe Butler could be the baby, but nah, hell nah. No.
第1のゲームおよび今回のゲームにおける親父の隠し事の気配。
Could Butler be the baby from the beginning? I don't know, or hell no. I don't believe so. I do not.
特に今回のゲームでは俺の生まれに何か事情があることをはっきり明示している。
Yes, there are some circumstances, but what if the actual culprit has the same circumstance? Not the same technically, but yeah, has some weird circumstances to their birth as well, just like how you, right, is not Asumu's biological son. So yeah, I guess you can do that as an argument, right? Butler proposed that he might be the baby from 19 years ago and announced that he'd reconstruct the crime with himself as a culprit. So this is a nice theory though. Okay, let's see. As the Yanor cautiously held her sword at the ready, she gauged the distance between them. Now that Butler had inherited the position of this world's territory lord and attained the rank of Endless Sorcerer, his movements surpassed human understanding. By now, the physical distance between them probably counted for nothing. After all, their extremely agile battle was surpassing the point where the concept of distance made any difference.
まずは見事です。バトラー犯人説、お聞かせ願いましょう。
For me personally, the reason I don't think that this is possible is, yeah, you could say that maybe, let's say Rudolph, right? And then Butler? We'll just say that Kyrie's baby, or Kyrie's Butler's mother, right? And then Rudolph took the kid and then just told Kyrie that she had a miscarriage. For me personally, at that situation, I can say that maybe this, like Rudolph had that situation that where he can make Butler his legitimate child. No, because back then Kyrie was not his wife, right? And yeah, if both had survived, Rudolph would have had an illegitimate child. Yeah, a child from outside the family, right? Technically, not his wife, I mean. So, yeah, I don't think so. I don't think that, what do you call this, that the baby that they gave Natsuhi is Butler? Hell, no. I think it's too far away. No.
ああ、聞かせてやる。それでも説明がつくことを。
I think it would only work if both childs existed. For example, let's say Asumi had a baby and then Kyrie had a baby. Both survived. You could say that, right? Maybe then you could say that. But what happened? But then, I don't know. No. What I'm saying, what I was thinking is maybe the miscarriage is maybe not real. Maybe, right? Maybe they said Kyrie had a miscarriage and then they just took the baby. That is possible, though, right? Well, maybe we'll just talk about it later, I guess. But yeah, oh my god, as we're going through this game, I'm thinking more theories again.
夏日おばさんが犯人だと決めつけることはできないこと。
Wait, what? What did he say? Dude, I was thinking about Kyrie. What did he say? Okay, let me see. I'll let you hear it. I'll prove the explanation also works and that you can't be certain Aunt Natsu is the culprit. Okay.
あなたが犯人というならいくつもの矛盾が生じます。その矛盾があなたのか弱い真実を刈り取る。この私、探偵にして真実の魔女フルドエリカが。
This time, Erika stepped forward. Oh, it's a sight. In her hand there appeared a sight like one a grim reaper might hold. A ruthless sight for reaping everything that threatened her theory.
犯行時刻は24時からの1時間しかありえない。あなたはその1時間の間、屋敷の食堂にいます。よって犯行は不可能です。
Wait, what is that red truth again? Can I go back?
死亡時刻が24時からの1時間の間と特定はされていない。
It is only possible for the crimes to have taken place during a single hour after midnight. During that 1 hour, you were in the dining hall of the mansion. Therefore, it was impossible for you to commit the crime. It has not been specified that the time of death was during that single hour after
よ
midnight.
って犯行は24時から午前1時までの間でなくとも可能だ。
She's losing.
いと
Yes.
こ部屋の殺人に限定します。午前1時から事件発覚までいとこ部屋での犯行は不可能です。
It is impossible for the crime to have been committed in the cousin's room between 1 a.m. and the time of the crime's discovery. Impossible. Okay.
ドラノール、今です。
ノックス第8条、提示されない手がかりでの解決を禁ず。いとこ部屋で実際に犯行が行われたなら手がかりが提示されなくてはなりません。それが朝まで室内の異常を監視していた探偵であるエリカ卿に与えられなかった以上、犯行は不可能です。
If the crime actually was carried out in the cousin's room, clues must have been shown or have been shown. Because clues were not given to the detective, Lady Erica was on the watch for any abnormalities inside that room until morning. Such as a crime is impossible.
事件発覚とは俺が悲鳴を上げて全員が集まった段階のことだ。そこまでに殺すことが不可能であってもそれ以降に殺すことが可能だ。
It was impossible to what? The time of the crime discoveries is refers to the point at which I let out a scream and everyone gathered there. Even if it was impossible to kill them before that point, it was possible to kill them afterwards. Yes, that is my theory. Afterwards. Erica's eyes went wide. After all, what he had said was completely absurd. At that time, they still hadn't been killed. Even though the corpses with their necks sliced open were lying there.
いとこ部屋の4人の死亡は赤き真実で宣告されている。
Yes,
魔女伝送のつもり？
they have been declared, but
あの時点で死んでいたジョージたちを魔法概念で蘇らせたつもり？
なるほど。あの時点で死んでたと信じるお前にとっちゃまるで。
what I mean is they've been declared, but it doesn't specify that they died at that point, right? They could have just been pretending.
死者が蘇らされるみたいに見えるだろうな。ならこれはお前にとって魔法になるだろうぜ。
Okay, I need more recruits to enforce this. Come on, do more, Butler.
ならばお前に一矢報いるのは俺じゃない。
ほざて何度でも繰り返します。いとこ部屋の4人の死亡は赤き真実で宣告されている。そしてその遺体は大勢が確認しています。そして全ての死体は検視を誤らないとすでに赤き真実で宣言済みです。これでも食らいやがれ死者どもめ。
The problem is this one, and it's already been declared with the red fruit that no examination of any corpse is ever mistaken. What if, yes, everyone is an accomplice in that room? Then, of course, no examination would have been done, right? Is ever done, I mean, right? Erica arrived there, but she did not examine. If you remember that scene there, Erica did not check on the cousins themselves. It was only the people there. She herself did not check the bodies, right? She did not check them like physically. She did not go near them or anything like that. If you go back to the scene back then, yes. Oh, Ronove. The man is
その
back.
赤き真実が何時の時点でのものか。
Damn, to what point in time did that red fruit refer? So yeah, there was no point, right? You could just say that in between these times they were dead, so they could have died at any point of time.
お忘れですか、お嬢さん。
The fear shower red was blocked by a magical barrier set up by Ronove. He suddenly appeared right in front of Butler. Now that Beato was gone, the demons shouldn't have been able to manifest themselves in the real world. However, he existed here. Ronove is like the person you need when you're in a war, and then you need your backup, and then suddenly you're losing. Not technically losing as in Butler's situation here, but you needed someone to come and help you, and then he just comes in and says this. He existed and calmly dealt with Erica's attack.
貴様はロノウェ？
Yeah, pretty much like Ronove is the surprise attack that came from the rear.
どうやってここに？まあいいです。好都合です。探す手間が省けました。この場で捕らえてあんたも存在否定してあげます。
譲るぜ。
Okay, Ronove, do your job, sir.
一つの傲慢なる真実だ。全てを支配などできないことを教えてやれ。
Yes, Your Majesty.
Your Majesty.
では、少しお相手しましょうか。どうぞ、お嬢さん。
ならあの赤き真実の死亡宣告は何時の時点でのものだというのですか。それがあんたには特定できるって言うんですか。特定できない以上事件発覚の時点での死亡宣告であることを否定はできません。
この法廷が改定した時、ラムダデルタ教は宣言しておりますよ。24時を迎えての答え合わせと。死亡宣告は2日目24時、すなわち
Oh
ゲ
yeah.
ーム終了時点のものです。
They were pronounced dead at 12 midnight on the second day, in other words, at the end of the game. So, technically meaning they could have died anywhere between those times. So they could have died an hour before the end of the game. It doesn't mean that they died when the bodies were discovered. So eat that, Erica.
そしてそれは事件発覚後と呼ばれる2日目朝以降の殺人を否定するものではありません。
Eat it.
ではあの時点で犠牲者は生きていたと。
I mean, yes.
首がばっくりと裂かれているのに。
それを探偵殿はご覧になられましたか。
See, this is what I was saying. Just, yeah, a couple minutes ago. Did you see that yourself? She did not check them physically. She did not, yeah, literally go near, for example, George's body and check if he really had a slice in his neck. No.
確かに全ての死体は誰であっても検視を誤ることはないとなっておりますが、死体でないものを死体と言っていけないとは言われておりませんもので。
Erica swung her scythe recklessly, but Runaway blocked everything with an elegant gesture made with a shield on one of his hands.
じゃああの時点では誰も死んでない。まさか首に傷さえない。だってじゃあどうしてバトラは悲鳴を上げたんです。
Because, yeah, obviously, all of them, like most of them, are accomplices in this specific game for some reason.
足元がお留守だわ、お嬢ちゃん。
Dude, these guys are enemies in the episodes before, right? And now, yeah, we're allying each other against Erica here. It's quite funny, I'm not gonna lie. And it's so cool, yeah.
すべてのゲーム開始時に後宮金蔵は死んでいる。
A pitch black hole opened beneath Erica's feet and swallowed her up. She could probably see through to the other side of the hole. It was the same thing you'd see if you looked down out of the skylight on the ceiling of this cathedral.
リア。
ええ。
Virgilia could already be seen in midair inside the cathedral. Oh, smothered mate. This smothered mate? Is that it? As Erica fell from the heavens, Virgilia was right below her and caught her on the end of a divine spear that sparkled blue.
あなたの推理も顧みるべきではありませんか。金蔵は存在しません。よってあなたの推理の遺体消失が破綻します。
道理です。金蔵以外の人物が遺体を消失させねば破綻します。
True.
この程度で。
It's so satisfying that she's losing. As much as I liked her solving things, it's just for some reason it's very satisfying that she's losing like this. Virgilia's blue divine spear skewered and pinned Erica in midair. Erica struggled, filled with hatred, but she couldn't get it out easily. Then all around her, several small fast things clang of the walls and enveloped her. Oh, the stakes, the 7 people manifested themselves at once.
我らは煉獄の7姉妹、主の仇、思い知れ。この文鎮風情が。
Paperweights. Yeah, because they were talking about the stakes being $30, right?
ジョージは死後、遺体は一切移動されていない。
After George's death, his body was never moved.
ジェシカは死後遺体は一切移動されていない。
So yeah, this is enforcing pretty much the theory that they were alive, because if they were dead at the time, they couldn't have moved, right? But they moved, the bodies were gone. Look at this.
マリアは死後、遺体は一切移動されていない。
ローザは死後、遺体は一切移動されていない。
Who else? Who else?
ゲンジは死後、遺体は一切移動されていない。
Alright, Genji. Kraus is the last one, right? Kraus.
クラウスは死後、遺
Yes.
体は一切移動されていない。よって遺体発見後に遺体が消失することはありえない。貴様の推理、遺体は金蔵が運び出したは破綻する。だから何だってんですか。金蔵以外でだって死体の消失は説明でき。私が推理の修正を。この私が探偵が。
Even with Kinzo's existence denied, Erika was probably capable of escaping this by only making a small revision to her theory. However, to her, having to revise a theory she had already created was extremely humiliating.
夏日を追い詰めるためだけに策を浪しすぎたわね。
This is the thing about Erika though. When she is the detective. She's gonna solve whatever, or the case, in whatever means that she can. She will use anything to solve it. And for her, as she chosen Natsuhi as the target, she will pretty much do anything and say anything to pretty much pinpoint that it is Natsuhi, right?
推理を遊びすぎましたな。
Like even saying Natsui is having an affair with Kinzo? What?
金蔵の死を赤き真実で語れるのは今やあなたの主だけではありませんよ。
これが魔女の闇を遊んだ報いです。
Yeah, she pretty much will just solve it at any cost. She will do anything to support her theory or her speculation. She will say and do anything.
それを知りなさい、フルドエリカ。
Of course, even Erika had doubted Kinzo's existence from the beginning. I mean, yeah. However, it had previously been impossible for anyone to deny his existence in that trial, except for Berncastle and the Delta, who had sided with each other. And because of the willful silence of those two, the truth about Kinzo had truly been unfixed. And he had to think that Butler had become a witch, a sorcerer, incapable of using red without proof. However, she had her own Inquisitor of Heresy, who could also use red without proof to counter.
Nox 第2条探偵方法に超自然能力の使用を禁ず。金蔵の死を赤き真実で示すならば、それを構築する人間の真実、証拠の提示を求めます。
許せ、クソじじい。越えゆけバトラー、我がしかもはねえ。 証拠提示。
Okay, what is the evidence?
後宮金蔵と識別可能な遺体を提示する。
その遺体が後宮金蔵であると証明することはできますか？どれほど金蔵に酷似した遺体であろうとも当人であることを証明できない限り。
What? Okay.
第三者の身代わり死体であるとの主張が可能です。それが金蔵の遺体であることを人間の真実で示せますか？本件のみ赤き真実のみでの反論を無効とします。
へえ、赤き真実での反論を無効？そんな思考もあるのね。
確かに第三者の死体が存在しないことはすでに赤で語られてる。しかしそれを赤で語ることを禁じられたらバトラのやつお手上げじゃない。
そうだな。この閉ざされた六軒島ではこの死体がじい様のものだと示せる客観的な方法はない。
I mean, yeah, unless it's literally shown.
それこそはこの遺体が替え玉死体である可能性の示唆です。
Wait, did he actually show it? What? I didn't understand it. Presentation of evidence. I present a body which can be identified as Ushirimiya Kinzo. Okay.
この身元不明遺体が金蔵の死を証明するものにはなり得ません。
チェックメイト。我が推理は揺るぎません。
Leonor had sealed off the red fruit as a means of proving that Kinzo's corpse had been shown. Even without the power of witches, Butler couldn't argue back.
赤き真実を封じられてどうやってその死体を金蔵だと証明するの？無理よ。不可能だわ。
赤と青ならね。
この死体が後宮金蔵の死体であると保証する。
Gold. Wait, gold? That's it? He just needs to say that and it's done? Then, when Diana met with Butler's golden flash, she wasn't able to fully block it with her red or blue sword and she was blown backwards into empty space. It was a direct hit without any miscalculation. Though she had always seemed as firm as a small giant before now, she was finally blasted away and slammed against the wall as though she was the slender girl she appeared to be.
ドラノール、あんた何やって。
見事な黄金の真実、有効です。
A splendid gold truth.
黄金の真実？
I just need to say that and it's good now? I mean, yeah, what? The golden longswords which had been drawing red and blue trails before now finally drew a curve that retained its divine golden color. This is insane. The truth is, it showed was neither red nor blue. It was gold truth.
何それ？ラムダ、こんなのはルールにあるの？
ええ、黄金の真実、有効よ。
Even she is agreeing to it.
黄金の真実はこの世界の領主、いえゲームマスターにしか使えない。
なんですって？
黄金の真実、赤き真実とは異なる方法によって紡がれる神なる真実。その力は赤き真実と同等です。時に劣るでしょう。
Okay, it is strength on par with the red truth. It may sometimes be inferior,
しかし時に勝る。
but it is sometimes superior.
その輝きこそがバトラ君が本当にベアトを理解した証。
示したぜ。この死体がじい様であることを。
はい。黄金の真実受理しました。エリカ教の推理は修正に応じぬ限り破綻します。
そんな。
Erica cried out in pain. It wasn't the pain of her body being pierced, it was the pain of her own theory being defiled.
なるほど。叙実トリックの寄せ集めかと思ったら、これはいつの間にか。どんだけ作集だわ。
バトラー、それ以上語るは野暮に過ぎるわ。あんたの遺体消失の真実、もはやこれ以上語らずとも完全に理解させてもらったわ。なるほどね。あんたの考えてるそれはこれまでの法廷の全ての赤に矛盾しない19年前の男の復讐を軸にしたあんたの真実、その全て理解し受理したわ。あんたの真実の成立を宣言する。
Okay.
そんな、どうしてですか、ダイラムダデルタ卿。あいつはまだ全てを説明しきっていません。秀吉の密室や夏日の自室の封印やクローゼットのボタンや、まだまだ他にも反論の手段が用意してあります。あんたまだバトラーに反論できる気でいるの？
Only Erica, the one who was supposedly so intelligent, couldn't understand. She couldn't understand that Butler had already reached the real truth.
以上によりじい様の不在は証明され、夏日おばさんのじい様をめぐる不名誉は返上される。
Yeah, remove that. Honestly, that thing was BS from the beginning. It was funny to think about it, but it was just BS.
夏日おばさんは純潔にして停粛だ。貴様ら好みの下劣な物語は許さない。
It's pretty much just intended for Natsui to be humiliated, I think. Yeah. For most of this episode anyways. The target was always Natsui this whole episode, and to humiliate her, say bad things about her, all that stuff.
バトラ君。
She's here.
さらにこれまでの死者全員の死亡時間に疑義が生じる以上、夏日おばさん以外全員のアリバイは白紙に戻る。もはや夏日おばさん以外に犯行が不可能であるとの論法は通用しない。
The Anor, who must have risen to her knees at some point, slowly stood up. The flash from the golden sword was still buried deep into her chest. Though pain didn't show in her expression, her awkward movements clearly showed how serious the damage she had taken was. Even though she herself knew that the match was long over by now, the Anor didn't abandon her duty.
されどあなたはいとこ部屋にて5人不可能な遺体を確認されております。それが虚偽であったとおっしゃるのですか？ノックス第7条、探偵が犯人であることを禁ず。
You witnessed dead bodies which were impossible to misidentify. Are you trying to say that was a falsehood?
探偵は客観的視点を義務付けられています。あなたの推理はこの義務に違反です。
Wait, no one is blaming Erica though.
探偵はフルドエリカだぜ。今回の俺は探偵じゃない。
Wait, what is this? Let me. Maybe I didn't understand. Okay, are you trying to say that it was a falsehood? It is forbidden for the detective to be the culprit. But yeah, the detective in this game is Erica. I think, yeah, it has been implied, right?
そしてノックス第9条、観測者は自分の判断解釈を主張することが許される。
And Butler was not even controlling his own piece most of the game. For most, like 90% of the game. Like Butler is pretty much, yes, an observer, right? Yeah. Erica has been the detective in this one. She was the one trying to fight all those closed room battles. All the closed room investigation. It was Erica, not Butler. The other games, yes, Butler. This one, no.
ノックス第8条、提示されない手がかりでの解決を禁ず。これまでのあなたは探偵でした。
Until now, you have been the detective.
そのあなたが今回は探偵でなく試験を交える観測者であったことは示されていたのですか？
Was it ever shown that you were not the detective this time and that you were an observer with a subjective viewpoint?
それがない限りあなたには主観を偽る権利はありません。
俺は今回のゲームで非分の謎の仕掛けを解いた時、じい様を目撃している。
Okay.
すでに赤で示されている通り、じい様は存在しない。その目撃は不可能だ。よって俺の視点に客観性がないことはすでに示されている。
Okay, at that point, remember when they were very close to solving the epitaph and then suddenly he was talking to his grandfather, to Kinzo?
それは風雨になびくシートか何かをあなたが誤認しただけの可能性があります。
So yeah, during at that moment, you cannot trust what the butler was seeing. It was impossible for me to witness him. Therefore, it has already been shown that my viewpoint wasn't objective.
ノックス第9条を示す伏線とはなり得ません。誤認は全ての観測者に許された権利です。
第4のゲームにてレアトが示した赤き真実。全ての人物は後宮金蔵を見間違わない。
Yes, no person would mistake Ushirimiya Kinzo by sight. It's a red truth Beato used to counter my blue truth, a claim that someone disguised themselves as Kinzo to make it seem as though grandfather had appeared. In other words, on this island, anything which might lead someone to visually mistake something for grandfather, including someone else pretending to be grandfather, cannot ever work. So basically, whenever someone says that they saw Kinzo, they were talking to Kinzo, all that stuff, those characters are liars. Yes, those are liars. All of Aunt Natsu's schemes to make it seem grandfather existed were hidden in their relatives' blind spots. All of them clever tricks, like he was there just a second ago, or he is in his study alone now. They never tried to make anyone mistake something they saw for grandfather himself. So there are no contradictions. If they tried to dress one of the servants in grandfather's robe, it probably would have been seen through in an instant. Yes. It has been guaranteed that none of the characters in this tale would mistake something for grandfather by sight. Someone claims to have seen grandfather, despite that, it becomes a lie. Yes. Allowing lies to be contained within their observation is a right granted to everyone, except for just one person. And that person is the detective.
風雨になびくシートを見間違え、それを何であったと誤認して語るのもノックス第9条の権利だ。
And then yeah, Butler saw Kinzo, right? So there, you can say that he is not the detective.
しかし
Yeah, damn, this is so good. No joke.
じい様だと誤認することだけは赤き真実において本ゲームでは許されていない。
金蔵を見たと主張された時点で誤認識ではなく意図的、すなわち観測の客観性が否定されていることの証というわけですか。
In this case, unintentional misrecognition is not permitted by the rules of this game. However, it is possible to intentionally lie about seeing something you never saw, and that is an action not permitted to a detective who is obligated to maintain an impartial perspective, right?
暴論を許せ。これで決着だぜ。
So, what this saying is, as Butler talked to Kinzo, right, before they solved the epitaph, That scene alone pretty much tells you that Butler in this episode, in the game number 5, in episode 5, is not the detective. It is Erika. She is the detective this time.
いいえ、あなたのような男が世界にいてくれたなら、どのような傲慢からもか弱き真実を守ってくれたに違いない。もっともらしい一つの真実がか弱き真実たちを駆逐し、唯一の真実であると語る横暴から、本当の真実を守ってくれたに違いない。
Butler's golden sword drew a massive blue arc as though splitting the heavens.
あなたと戦えてよかったです。
よって今回のゲームにおける俺の観測は第7条でなく、じいさまを見たと主張したことが。
The noise rang out across the cathedral. It was the sound of Dianor's long sword clattering to the floor. Wave 1. Simply letting go of that was the same as resigning to the proud Dianor. Though the blue trail Butler had drawn was aiming right for the top of Dianor's head, it stopped a hair's breadth away. If it hadn't, Dianor would probably have been annihilated without leaving a single scrap of flesh behind.
リザインです。あなたの真実の否定を断念します。
借りは返した。お前の親父に敬意を。実戒は傲慢でも批判でもなかった。
父に敬意を。
And completely abandoned her will to fight.
何やってるんですか、トラノール。情けない、みっともない、間抜けな薄の殺人人形。あんたは自分の父の名誉に泥を塗ったわ、恥知らず。それでもミステリーのくさび、魔法に屈するの。そんなのミステリーの歴史が許さない。
お前こそ何もミステリーを分かってないな。ミステリーが相手を知的に見下すための狂気にしか見えてないなら、お前に俺は二度とそれを語らせない。
バトラー。
お前に相反する真実を宣言する。夏日おばさんは19年前の男、すなわち俺によって内戦電話で脅迫されていたんだ。その目的は夏日おばさんを殺人犯に仕立て上げること。これは初めから夏日おばさんに濡れ衣を着せるための復讐劇だ。
True. This game was all about framing and humiliating Natsuhi. All this episode, all this game number 5 was all for Natsuhi.
違います。夏日が仕組んだ後宮家の復讐劇です。
It's the opposite, miss.
あなたの推理は私と真っ向から相反します。
お前のその青い槍、まだ抜けないのか。
そうね。エリカからはまだ金蔵以外の理由での遺体消失を聞いていないわ。あんたの推理は現在否定中だけれど、
こんな槍など。文人どもめ、邪魔な。
The deeply piercing blue spear and the 7 red stakes tormented her theory. They won't come out, they won't come out.
修正とエリカの推理の誤りを認めるわ。そんな我が主。
Watching Erika face contort with pain as she struggled to escape from the spear, Burncastle spoke this with a disgusted expression. Faced with facts, Bernkastel had acknowledged Erika's loss herself. Erika gazed at her master, who was no longer confident in Erika's own victory, with a mixture of shock and despair.
あんたのプライドなんて知ったことじゃないわ。いつまでその無様な姿を晒す気なの？私と同じ青い髪を許された分身がいつまでそこで貼り付けになっているつもり？私自らがやはり降臨しなきゃダメなのかしら。やはり駒なんていらないわ。
Damn, that hurts, that hurts.
ああ、めんどくさい、めんどくさい、七めんどくさい。駒なんていらないわ。捨ててしまおう。ああ、残念、無念、失望、絶望、期待外れの的外れ。早くしなさいよ、クズが。お前のそのみっともない推理を修正しろって言ってんでしょ。はい、我が主。修正いたします。我が推理を修正いたします。
As Erika's face twisted in humiliation and tears streamed from her eyes, she withdrew and revised her own theory in accordance with her master's order. Mumbling quietly, she made various revisions with the Blue Truth, had them acknowledged by Lambda Delta, and finally had the Blue Spear smashed and freed. Though the Blue Truth did indeed explain how the corpses had disappeared, it couldn't conceal its desperation and was a bit of a truly shabby reasoning.
我が主、抜けました。我が推理は完璧です。どこが？無様この上ないわ。でも許してあげる。あんたのその顔と推理がとっても情けなくて笑えるから。
Erika was taunted by her master, who wore an ugly expression. She thrashed about the floor, crying bitter tears. The wounded Dianor stepped out before her as though shielding her, and she spoke to Bernkastel as well as Butler.
どれほどみすぼらしかろうと、修正されたエリカ教の真実は有効です。
ああ、そうだ。俺の真実に関係なく、お前の真実も同時に存在する。それがこの世界だ。誰にも否定できないから。いくつでも、どんなに相互が矛盾しても、それらの真実は同時に存在できる。ここでは想像の数だけ真実があっていいんだ。それを誰も一方的に否定してはならない。
はい、そうです。エリカ教の真実は私が誰にも否定させません。
ドラノール。
このドラノールある限り、その真実をお守りいたします。どんなにみすぼらしくとも、私はその真実を嘲笑いはしません。
The words of Delnor, whom Erika had previously looked down upon, led Erika to once again thrash about on the floor, sobbing.
そして唯一の真実が存在しない限り、全ては闇の底だ。すなわち俺の推理もエリカの推理も否定不能であると同時に唯一の真実でもない。否定できないが絶対でもない、あやふやなものだ。確定しない以上、魔女幻想はまだ存在してる。それを暴くことが許されてるのは エリカでなければ貴様らでもない。この俺だけだ。俺以外にベアトリーチェの魔女幻想は暴かせない。
判決を変更。後宮バトラの示した真実によりエリカの真実の唯一性は失われた。しかしエリカの真実は否定不能。よって2人の真実は並び立つ。第5のゲームの決着を撤回。ゲームはイーブンに戻るわ。そしてゲームマスターは私から黄金の魔術師後宮バトラに移る。後宮バトラ前へ。あんたを新しいゲームマスターに任命するわ。
Oh, he's the new game master. Okay, so for the next game, Butter is gonna be the one.
承諾するわよね。
So this is gonna be interesting. How is it gonna work now as he is the game master, right? What is the story of the sixth one?
しなさい新しい無限の魔女。
ああ、俺が新しいゲームマスターだ。第6のゲームは俺が。エリカ、今度こそ俺と決着をつけようじゃねえか。立て。
Oh, so for the sixth game, it's gonna be Erica and Butler. Okay.
この屈辱、話す機会を与えたことを後悔させましょう。
Okay.
我が主、第6のゲームにてもう一度バトラと戦う機会をお与えください。
So Erica's second chance, I guess, in the sixth game.
ええ、もちろんよ。チャンスをあげる。
あらすごいわね。あなたがチャンスをあげるなんて。これって奇跡じゃないの？奇跡の魔女ベルンカステル。
エリカ、奇跡的にあなたは命拾いしたわ。第6のゲーム、バトラのゲーム、何としても暴きなさい。忘却の闇に捨てられたくなければね。はい、我が主。ドラノール。
無論です。次なるゲームにても全力を尽くします。
もう客人のふりはしません。私とドラノールであなたのゲームを引き裂いてみせます。
ああ、招待してやるぜ。俺の第6のゲームにな。
Dude, what is gonna happen in the sixth game? I can't even imagine. Yeah, because Butler is gonna be the game master, right? What is gonna happen here?
悪いが、タイトルはお前のつけたチェックメイト・オブ・ザではなくなるぜ。
あなたのゲームです。あなたが名付けるといいでしょう。その挑戦、望むところです。私はフルドエリカ、魔女である以前に探偵。あなたがこのゲームの新たな支配者であることを認め、そして宣戦布告します。絶対に暴いてやる。殺してやる。黄金の魔術師後宮バトラー。
ああ、存分にかかってこい、フルドエリカ。
かかってこい。Just watch, Beato. I'll take charge of your game. And in the next game, I'll prove that I completely understand all of your riddles. How is this gonna work next time? Okay. How is it gonna work? I am so curious. How is it gonna work next time, right? Oh my god. Like, I don't even know, honestly. Yeah, how is it? How? Like this time it was Lambda Delta's game. Yes. But as we go to the next one, it's gonna be Butler's game. So how are we gonna get stories there, right? 45 die Mzaki pre-holder. What is this? Silver Forest? I guess maybe this is some I guess the credits for the episode itself, right? But honestly, this episode number 5, I think like it's really good, especially the ending parts. The later parts of this episode were really good. I did enjoy it the most, especially the most I enjoyed about this is this last part here. Technically this tea party against Erica. It was so fun. It was so fun destroying her. No joke. Yes. This was the best part, defeating her. But yeah, you know that they forgot something, right? Well, what happened to Hideyoshi then? They didn't even talk about Hideyoshi. What happened to the guy? They talked about the letter, the riddle of the letter. They talk about the first Twilight, but what about Hideyoshi? Yeah, what happened with him? No one even talked about him for some reason. It's just like he was forgotten, right? What's up with that? Oh, it changed. It's the Golden Land now. Okay, let's go here. But what happened with Hideyoshi, man? It's just gone. It's over. How about we do this? We execute. Okay, can we not? We cannot. We cannot do it to Butler. Oh, the other ones. The ones who actually didn't die, we cannot do it. Hideyoshi. Because he was lying face down on the bed, must be ruled out. Okay, honestly, this dude, they didn't have an investigation for him for some reason. Come on. How about Erica? Okay. So, I'll just give my thoughts and theories in this one. I was thinking of maybe making another video, just like how I did the thoughts and theories of the question marks, but yeah, for the episodes, I guess we'll just do it at the end, right? It's not really that long, and pretty much, yeah, it's not that much that we got from this episode. It was big, but it was not really that much. So let's begin, I guess. So for this game, it was a little bit different, right? We started the game as Lambda Delta was the newer or the new game master rather than Beato. So the game was, yeah, it was very, very different when you compare it to the other games, to the episode 1 to 4, to the question arcs. This one was, yeah, it felt different. The way it flowed, it was different. It didn't even feel, honestly, for me, I didn't even feel any tension throughout this game for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah, it just felt very different. So for the characters, I guess, I mean, we didn't really like see a lot of them, I guess, at least for Natsuhi. Honestly, George, Jessica, Maria, yeah, they're very, very small roles. Shannon Canon as well. Maybe they have, yeah, not maybe, they have done some stuff, but them in the story, not really, right? So yeah, one of the biggest characters for this one is Furudo Erika. Newest character in the main story, I suppose, right? Washed up in Rokunjima on October 4th, 1984. I mean, for me, for Erika, I liked her, or I like her, I guess. I'll say I like her, not fully, of course, but I like her because she is trying to solve the mystery, right? On what really is happening. But then again, I mean, there's a big but there. The way she's solving it is, she would do anything, I suppose, to just solve it. So if she has a speculation or a theory, especially for Natsuki here, she would do anything technically to corner someone, right? And in this episode, it was Natsuki. She would just say a lot of BS for some reason, right? And that became kind of annoying, but I kind of like that she was pretty much trying to force Natsuki to admit what with Kinzo being dead and all, right? But other than that, It is so satisfying to see her lose, especially this part with Butler here. Her crying like that. It was quite funny, honestly. It was really funny. So yeah, I just liked her because yeah, she's solving the mystery of Rokinjima, and that's it. Other than that, the character herself, her personality is she bad, right? She's really her personality is bad. So for this one, the other one that we got is Dianor. Dianor as well pretty much introduced us to her commandments that she has, right? And these commandments are good because basically you can go back now and then check the question arcs. So yeah, pretty much I think they also said this, right, that you can go back now and then use these commandments that were told or they told to us to pretty much try and solve what was happening from the first and 4 games, right? So if you can do theories and stuff like that, it's much easier now to pinpoint maybe what they were doing, because now you can just implement the Noxus commandments, and that's nice. Another fighter against Butler. That's pretty cool. I like her much more because the conversations she had with Butler and Virgilia in these episodes were pretty chill, and it was pretty fun. Pretty nice, I mean. It was nice listening to them just talking in this episode. Like, outside of battle, Dianor is a nice character to hear when talking, when they're conversing. So for, I guess, the biggest part of this episode, who is the target? Pretty much this whole episode, it was about this lady right here. She was the target of this whole episode 5. It may be because, I mean, she had, or she is, the one who had the idea for Kinzo to be dead, right? Or not to be dead, but for her, she had the idea that Kinzo would still be alive, right? She was the one who made that idea, that everyone, Kraus, who else? It was Kraus, it was Natsuhi, it was Genji, it was Nanjo, it was Kumasawa, Shannon, and Kanon. So basically all of them were pretending, right? She is the one who had that idea. And then the other one is the man from 19 years ago. So these are the key pieces that we got from this episode, right? I think this is the biggest one, is the baby, right? Who is the baby? That is the question. So for my theories, yes, I think I can add this now to the timeline of how the culprit was, I guess, how the culprit became the culprit, right? We can say this. So for me earlier, when we were doing this one, what do you call this again? The witches, let's say tea party, right? And then remember I was talking about maybe the baby was Rudolph. No, Rudolph's baby with Kyrie, right? So let's put it like this. So maybe, this is a big maybe. I do not believe this theory right here. It's a big maybe. Maybe both Kyrie and Asumu had a baby, right? And then for Kyrie, because what do you call this? Butler cannot be. I mean, yeah, it pretty much cannot be, because it was said in Red Fruits anyways that Butler is not Asumu's biological child, right? So I doubt it now. Yeah, I kind of doubt it. Yeah. So if that was it, then there should have been 2 babies, right? So what did Rudolph do? He took Kyrie's kid, gave Kyrie's kid to Asumu, took Asumu's kid, gave that to Kinzo, and then Kinzo gave it to Natsuhi, and that baby fell and died. Come on, it's way too weird, right? Yeah. If Asumu was Butler's mom, biological mom, I think this could have worked, right? But it's not, so yeah, I think it shattered that theory there. I was thinking about it earlier, but now, yeah, as we're talking about it, I think it shattered it, and I don't think that's possible anymore. Yeah, let's remove the Butler as maybe the baby. I don't think so anymore, yeah. I cannot. Why would Rudolph give his baby, or let's say, why would he shuffle the babies around, right? So he can give it to Kinzo. Like it's pretty much implied that maybe Kyrie is Butler's mom, right? And Butler's mom is not Asumu, biological mom, I mean. So what? He shuffled the babies there? He loved Kyrie more, so he took his baby from Asumu and then gave it to Kinzo? Is that it? I don't know. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. But for me, I think it's yeah, the culprit. So this is the kid of Kinzo and Kuwadori and Beatrice, the one I've been talking about in my theories. So we could say that 19 years old, right? What date it is? 1986, so 19 years. 1967, I guess. No, 1986. So 1965, we could say. Yeah, 1965. Maybe he had a baby with Kuwadori and Beatrice. And this baby was given to Natsuhi. Right? So for me, that is the theory. And then yes, Natsuhi doesn't know the origins of that baby. And because she doesn't like, or the baby reminded her of not having her own child, she pushed the maid, the servant, and the baby down the cliff. And then it was said afterwards that they found the servant, but the baby's death was hidden, right? So now this is the tricky part here. So I think, okay, this is just speculation, of course. Nanjo, Genji, and Kumasawa knew about this or knew the baby survived, but they didn't tell Kinzo. For sure, they did not tell Kinzo, because if Kinzo knew that the baby survived, he would have still taken it in, right? So I don't think Kinzo knew that baby survived. Instead of giving it to Kinzo, the baby was given to the Fukuin house, and then there we go. I think that is the missing link, I guess, on how the baby ended up in the Fukuin house. For my theory is, yeah, because Canon came from that house, right? So I think that is my missing link there. That was the baby that Natsui pushed onto the cliff that fell. So the one calling now. The problem with the one calling is it's a man, right? So it's a son. So you could say in my theories it was Shannon, Sayo, and then we have Canon, right? The different personalities. So are you telling me that Shannon is what? Actually a guy or what? And then we have the Canon personality, right? The much more younger personality than the Shannon personality. So, that is this is kind of makes it tricky now. Like, what? But it wasn't really specified if the baby was male. No one said it in red though, correct? No one said it in red. It was just said it was a baby boy. It was a son, right? I guess. But no one said, it was not said in red at least, that the baby is male. So, I guess we'll find out. But then again, in this episode, a lot of the people, it seems like they're accomplices by each other, right? To each other. So you could say that the culprit itself bribed pretty much everyone in this game except Natsuhi and Erika. So yes, as we're seeing that Butler was the one, let's say, talking to Natsuhi from the phone, right? She could have just ordered Butler to talk, so you could still say that, yes, then maybe the culprit is still a girl, right? It's still Shannon. So I guess we'll just see more as we go forward, right? But for this episode, it was pretty much everyone against Natsuhi. This whole game was against her. I think from the beginning, it was just against her. But the funny thing is, if it's against her, why did Jessica agree to this, right? Why did they become accomplices though? For example, could we even say that Kraus is an accomplice? I guess you could say that, right? He called Natsuhi, so maybe indirectly an accomplice at the time. I don't know actually. We'll see. But yeah, Jessica is Natsuhi's daughter, right? she would agree to pretend to be dead for them to go after Natsuhi to humiliate her. Maybe there's a different angle here that we're not looking at, right? Maybe, I mean, because for these two, I think these are the only two who are not accomplices in the game. All of the others are accomplices. So maybe you could say that as Erika maybe, I mean, we could say this. Didn't she wanted to solve the epitaph, right? And she was talking about the successor and stuff. So yeah, she was pretty much implying that she's a detective at that point. It was way before the epitaph was solved. So maybe you could say that Jessica, George, Maria, I don't know, maybe Rosa, I don't know. It coincided with this and they wanted to play Erika and then pretended to be dead. For Erika to have a mystery there. And then at the time it also coincided with Natsuhi being framed for them. So maybe we could say that the objectives of Jessica, George, and Maria, and let's say Rosa as well, is to play with Erika, right? Maybe we could say that. And then when they went missing, the culprit maybe took advantage of that and then started blaming Natsuhi for their disappearances and death. Maybe you could say that. Maybe it was different objectives, different plans. But yes, and now you have Ava here, Hideyoshi. They were crying when George was dead in the room, right? So they were not dead, so they are also in the plan. So yeah, it is a lot. I mean, there's a lot of variations, a lot of stuff. I mean, so it's very hard to explain. I'm not gonna lie, it's very hard to explain. But yes, my main theory is all the cousins pretended. Pretty much everyone here pretended. Maybe for this one, the adults, you could say that they also pretended because they wanted Natsuhi to admit Kinzo was really gone, right? Maybe that. You could say that. So they agreed with, let's say, the kids with their plan as well as maybe playing with Erika. It pretty much matches with what they want to happen, right? And then Natsuhi was being blamed for the murder. All of it. And she was humiliated. But if they're pretending, they still died though. That's the thing. They died afterwards. So you could say that the real culprit killed them still. Why did the culprit kill them? Because probably she just wants to kill them, right? Just like how Ava Beatrice in the third episode, the epitaph was solved, but people still died. Correct? Honestly, it's quite confusing. No joke. It's quite confusing, but yeah, for the first Twilight, that is my theory. These people pretended to be dead. For some reason, did they get bribed? Did they just want to have fun? What happened there? I do not know. But we could just say at least in the beginning, they were pretending and pretty much everyone were accomplices to just make Natsuhi admit some stuff. Kinzo dying, the man from 19 years ago, all that thing, the accomplices there. And then for the riddle of the letter, I mean, I've been saying it multiple times now that the theory there for me is it was just canon pretending that there was a letter there. You could say that. And with everyone being an accomplice, maybe, yeah. Erika was not there, by the way, in the mansion, right? It was only everyone else, and then Butler was there as well. So maybe just Cannon was just pretending that he picked up a letter, all that stuff. But yeah, this game is just so different, man. It's just different. This game is technically for Natsuhi and Natsuhi herself. This is to humiliate her, make fun of her, remind her of what she did. Remember her headaches? It's because of what she did back then. She wanted to remove it from her head, but she couldn't. She keeps remembering. So we have these three riddles, right? Who done it? How done it? Why done it? I mean, who done it? I guess, of course, it's it's a culprit, right? It's a culprit who done it. Honestly, no one else. And then how done it. And this situation in this episode, yes, as I keep saying, pretty much just wanted Natsuhi to be humiliated, framed for murder as well, you could say. Let's say the cousin, yeah, the cousins pretended, but later on they were still killed, right? We didn't see the bodies, but they pretty much disappeared already. And they're confirmed to be dead. So yeah, basically, for Natsuhi, why done it? Why done it in this game? Again, or how done it? Like, how did she do that? For example, how did she do it? Yeah, I mean, like, let's just say, how did she do it? She pretty much just, yeah, framed Natsuhi for anything or everything, and that's it. How did she do that? She did that. Maybe she bribed them. All of the people here. I mean, you could easily like bribe Ava. You could easily bribe Hideyoshi, Kirie, Rudolph. You could bribe them with money, right? They can be accomplices with anything. These two, Maria, Butler. I mean, there's some circumstances there. But easily for the others, you can also say money. Kumasawa was given money. They showed that. Goda. It's easy. You just bribe them, right? Bribe them to play along with what happened except for Natsuhi. And then why done it? Because of what happened. The history there. Or what Natsuhi did. So yeah, you could say that is the motive there. Is because of what Natsuhi did. She just wanted to... She wanted Natsuhi to admit what she did. I think this is one of the causes of the tragedy, right? That we could say. Maybe this was a big... Like, I mean, I guess this is a big impact. She fell from a cliff, let's say. She did survive. But it doesn't... I don't know. Who knows what the actual culprit looks like, right? But then again, she was a servant, so she, let's say, yeah, she can walk. She can do normal stuff. I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. But yeah, I think that's it for this episode. Anyways, this episode is very simple. It's an answer arc, but it's very fun. It's an answer arc. What I mean is, it's an answer arc, but it does not really tell you fully what happened. More on it just adds into it. It's so different when you compare to the Higurashi answer arc that we had. Like Higurashi, it's literally telling you, it's literally showing you the different side of an episode. On episode 2 of Higurashi, we're playing as Keiichi. And then you're trying to see, oh, what's happening here, there. And then when we went to the 5th episode of Higurashi, same episode technically, but you are on the POV of Shion instead. So now you're seeing how it was done, how it happened, all that stuff. But for this one, it's much more different. The answer arcs is pretty much just giving us a little tidbits yet again, but it's giving us much more tools on how to solve the riddle of this game, the story itself, the culprit. And it's fun. Honestly, this answer arc is very engaging. When you compare it to the question arcs, I was very engaged in this one. Like, I talked a lot in this episode compared to the question arcs. Because for this, it's so like funny, or so fun, I mean, to do the theories and thoughts while we're doing it. At the same time, for example, as Erika is deducing stuff, speculating stuff. It's so fun to do it at the same time as her. And I think that's it. That's why I enjoyed it. The only thing I hated for this episode was, remember when they were in Kinzo's study and they were arguing their investigations. I didn't really like that scene, I'm not gonna lie. Sure, it introduced us to Dianor and there's some stuff that was good. especially like for Butler there, and then Beatrice scene there. I mean, it was all fake, but it was fun. But I didn't really like it because we already knew that Kinzo is dead, so there was no point for that, right? Like there's something there that they're trying to say. I mean, but that what do you call this? The whole argument that they have there, they're talking about that how Kinzo might have escaped through the window. I mean, it's just BS, of course, because he was gone. He was dead already. It was already said that he was dead in the red fruits. So you didn't really have to do that. Honestly, I just felt a little bit wasted time there. Not all of that scene there, not all of that chapter. Only some of those. Only some of those. But all in all, this first answer arc was quite fun, especially this ending here that we had with the witches tea party. It was very, very fun, and I can't wait to see what's gonna happen with the 6th episode. So yeah, I was actually sorry for this little thoughts and theories. It's much more confusing. I wanted to write again, just as I did with my thoughts and theories with the question arcs, but I was like, yeah, it was a very short. The story is not that big. I mean, maybe we could talk about it for like 20 minutes. So I was like, do I go back and then write again what happened in this whole chapter? And I was like, nah, let's just talk about it a little bit, as I've been talking already the whole chapter anyways. So I'll just give a little bit of my thoughts and theories right there. And I think this is enough for now. Maybe we'll do it again. Maybe if the next episode is much more, or a lot more things happening, maybe I can make a video again of that on its own, talking about what happened there. But for this one itself, I mean, it was just an okay amount of information. So I guess we'll save it for now, right? And I think this is enough. Me talking about it at this end of this episode is enough for that. So I just want to say thank you very much for checking this out. I usually just get like 2 or 3 viewers like fully watching this. I mean there's some people that check out the videos, but like people fully watching this, it looks like it's just like 2-3 people. So shout out to those people, man. Pretty much watching every episode of my Let's Play of Umineko. Big shout out to you guys, whoever you are. Big shout out, and thank you very much for always like liking and then watching the videos. I know that you watch the videos because pretty much every time, for example, a video is an hour, I'm always gonna have like 3 hours of watch time. The same, so it's like 3 people watching the Let's Play. So you're joining me in my journey, and I really appreciate it a lot. So I guess this is it for episode number 5 of Umineko When They Cry. Hopefully you enjoyed it a lot. We got new characters, new stuff, a little bit of theories here and there that pretty much enforces my main theories. But all in all, it was pretty fun, and hopefully when we go to the 6th episode, it's gonna be much more better. We're gonna find out. So I'm gonna see you then, guys. Bye bye.